Hello and welcome back to WePC. Now we've had the pleasure of testing and reviewing some of the best products over the last 12 months, and we finally got our hands on a pair of these, the HyperX Cloud Stingers, and we were very interested to see what this headset could bring to the table. The HyperX Cloud Stingers are a no-thrills basic headset that lands slap bang in the middle of the price spectrum. But regardless of the price, the Cloud Stingers still managed to provide one of the best sound quality experiences I've heard in a good while, and not just at this price range. With that in mind, the following video will be putting these HyperX Stingers through their paces to see how they stack up against some of the competitively priced alternatives. Now, unlike some of the more elaborate headsets we've had the pleasure of reviewing recently, the HyperX Cloud Stingers headset couldn't be easier to set up and use. There's no user software to install, and all you need to do is plug the analog studio jack into whatever device you're using. The headset works across multiple platforms, and away you go. If you do plan on using the microphone for in-game commands, simply use the microphone jack to do so. HyperX has given the Cloud Stingers headset a modest, understated design that doesn't really follow the same trend as other gaming headsets. This is the sort of headset that if push comes to shove, you could easily wear these out and about in public, albeit with a microphone attached to the left ear cup. The Cloud Stingers are designed using plastic as the primary material, with some metal used in the headband for additional strength. They offer an all-black colour theme with two red HyperX logos on both of the ear cups. Further HyperX branding can then be found at the top of the headband, this time engraved into the headband with a shiny plastic finish. The main body of the headset has an air-blasted aluminium style, which looks quite nice, truth be told. The ear cups are over-ear, fairly large, oval, and they sit on the head with little to no pressure applied around the ears. The ear cups themselves have a thin layer of faux leather that sits on top of the memory foam padding, and the microphone is comprised of a rubberized material that allows a decent amount of versatility when not in use. Having said that, you can rotate the microphone 90 degrees, so it's completely out of the way. Moving on to the build quality, and I feel this may be one of the areas that HyperX had to compromise in order to achieve the budget price that this headset comes to. As I've mentioned previously, the Cloud Stingers are made primarily of plastic, which doesn't feel very robust, setting the scene for the overall build quality of the headset. Unlike the premium offerings, the Cloud Stingers just feel very flimsy when handling them. They certainly wouldn't last if you have the occasional rage outburst because you've been shot too many times in Warzone. We've had this headset now for over a year, and it has seen a decent amount of usage. Unfortunately, as expected, it hasn't held up too great during its lifetime. The headband seems to have become stretched and no longer sits in its housing completely flush. The faux leather on the ear cups is just starting to deteriorate, and some of the headband's padding is starting to come away. On the plus side though, the sound quality of this headset is still as good as the day we purchased it, and in the microphone quality department, it's even better. The microphone itself is housed in that rubberized casing that feels like it could stand the test of time, as is the headset cable. My only area of concern lies with the plastic throughout the headband, which on the whole just makes the headset feel a little bit uneasy. The headset may have fallen a little short in the build quality department. However, when it comes to comfort, the HyperX Cloud Stingers regain a lot of my respect. From a comfort point of view, this may be one of the comfiest headsets I've worn in a long time. The headset itself weighs in at a mere 270 grams, which is one of the lightest we've tested, and if you have a small pinhead like me, it's great to sit on top of. The headset sits nicely on your head, doesn't apply any pressure, especially on the side of the head. It does have a small amount of hugging tension, but definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. The headband has a large amount of adjustment available, meaning even the biggest heads, like our videographer Jay's, won't feel awkward using the headset. Okay. In terms of padding, the Cloud Stingers headset makes use of the HyperX's signature memory foam in the ear cups and in the headband. The faux leather on the ear cups feels extremely soft, whilst the padding underneath offers a decent amount of comfort. I really can't knock the Cloud Stingers when it comes to comfort. They feel absolutely fantastic. So design aside, let's dive into some of the more technical aspects of the headset. We'll be putting the headset through a number of different scenarios in order to provide you a complete and well-rounded review of the overall performance of these HyperX headsets. Like always, we'll kickstart proceeding by jumping into some music and understanding the range and the frequencies that the headset provides. Now, I tested this headset in a number of different music genres before I started gaming with them. Started off listening to electronic music, mainly fast-driven, trance, and to my surprise, they really did sound fantastic. This is what the headset is all about, rounding how the sound quality actually was, especially in the bass and in the mids. I went on to listen to several other genres and came to a pretty similar conclusion across the board. They sound amazing. After being surprised by how clean the music was, I was really more eager to see how they were in a gaming setup. So I switched on my PS4 and went straight onto Warzone. That's a game that requires really excellent sound awareness, especially in 1-on-2 or 1-on-1 situations, because that can be the difference between winning and losing, knowing where your enemy is. I played a couple of games on Warzone. To start things off, I was a little bit disappointed. My first impression when gaming was how harsh the gunfire sounded. I was expecting a more rich gunfire sound. However, my experience was something much more tinny. The high end really came throughout the game, and I feel like it started to increase the user's ability to hear guns and footsteps across the map. Speaking of which, I could hear very clearly whilst gaming. Despite the minor flaw of the tinniness, easy to pinpoint where an enemy was coming from, especially thanks to the slightly washed out bass that, if too intense, can sometimes be off-putting. I did manage to use the microphone quite a bit during my time when I was chatting to my mates, and especially during competitive games. The overall thoughts of this were really positive ones, but mainly I have to respect the headset in terms of price. The mic itself rotates 90 degrees, keeping it out of the way while not in use, and whilst in upright, the microphone is fully muted thanks to a clever switch inside the lever which automatically toggles the muting. The design features aside, the microphone sounded loud and clear, with the general consensus being it sounds a little bit flat. Overall though, as far as the $50 headset goes, the quality of the microphone is pretty much what you can expect. But unlike many gaming headsets designed for PC, which use or offer a USB connector, the Cloud Stingers come equipped with the more friendly audio jack connection. This means that they aren't just PC friendly, they're also Xbox, PS4, mobile, tablet, Switch, anything you can get your hands on with a 3.5mm jack. Designing a headset that can be used across platforms as well is a huge plus for gamers, because I myself have 4 different devices, and having 4 different headsets would just be illogical. So if you're in the market for a cheap headset that provides excellent sound quality across a ton of different platforms, is extremely comfortable, and has a microphone for more competitive game styles, then the HyperX Cloud Stingers might be exactly what you're looking for. As always, links to the product will be in the description down below, as well as links to all of our socials. If you like what you see, not just me, why not consider subscribing to WePC?